Hello and welcome to my first ever premium house skin tour on Disney Dreamlight Valley. I've had this game probably a month after it came out. Everyone kept telling me about it because all of my friends who played Animal Crossing New Horizons switched over to this game. One of my first house skins that I ever purchased in this game was the Nightmare Castle. So of course, it was one of the first premium house skins I ever designed. I don't actually remember because that was 2 years ago now. This is the main room of my Nightmare Castle. The theme I was going for was kind of along the lines and concept of Harry Potter, but I wanted it to feel magical and elemental, which you'll see in one of my rooms. I do try to represent different elementals, which are pretty common in fantasy. I am a really big fan of fantasy. This is my main space in my Nightmare Castle. You can see here that I really went for a dark academia, slightly gothic vibe. So I'm going to try to go as slow as possible. I am using my Switch controller, and I'm recording onto my laptop for the first time ever in my entire life. I've never done any of this before. I know if you don't want to listen to me waffle on, as they like to say, you can just mute me and play your own music, and feel free to. You don't have to listen to anything I say. It might not be very interesting. I'm really waiting for us to be able to change the ceiling tiles. This room is kind of in a dorm area, or at a college, you would have common room, common area. And then this table over here was, again, part of like a common area, but I also wanted it to have the idea and concept of a bookstore. So I put a little checkout booth over at the front here, and I'm gonna try to go as slow as possible. And then at the end, I'll zoom out if anybody wants to use this as inspiration for their own. The reason why I wanted to show off my premium house skin was because I realized I've run out of Disney Dreamlight Valley content to consume. So I figured maybe because interiors are so difficult to find on YouTube that maybe I could just make a couple of videos and help inspire other people the way other people have really helped inspire me, and kind of give back to the community, because I have found that this is such a really great, wonderful community. Let's go into the first room in the back here, because I really think you Harry Potter fans are gonna love this. And if you don't, well, just give this video a thumbs up, I suppose. This is my dining hall. Of course, as you can tell, it's very, very, very Harry Potter themed. I was a big fan whenever I was a kid, and then I kind of just got into any and all fantasy. I really love my fantasy, and you can see in this room, my love for fantasy and maximalist design is really showcased. I find that whenever I'm designing Disney Dreamlight Valley, that it's kind of difficult to get enough items to fill a room that all have a matching colorway and to not make it feel overwhelming. And I will say really quickly, as a disclosure, I am sorry about my mouse pad moving just like really fast. I don't know, the Joy-Con is really hard to control, but I'm gonna try to go as slow as possible. Oh man, I only had these couple of memories unlocked whenever I designed this room, but I haven't touched these rooms until yesterday. Whenever I knew I was going to make this video, I went in and I added the fireflies and a couple of items that I had wanted back in the day that I never got from Scrooge's shop. And then with all the new updates, I got all of these items. I really designed this basically 2 years ago, and it is now the end of October, beginning of November of 2024. So in 2022 is when I designed this room. I was really excited that I got all of the villain Star Path furniture items whenever I just downloaded Dreamlight Valley, because I didn't understand the value and the importance of the Star Paths until after the first Star Path, and then I realized those items were gone, and they were gone forever, and back then you could never get the items again. I am really appreciative that I did actually get those items. It's kind of funny, whenever I was getting items from Scrooge, this was actually the first full collection that I had enough items from to even do a design, which is why this castle is a bit intense. And all my builds, you'll see if I share any in the future, they are very, very intense. I do like whenever the items clip, because I do try to overlay and put stuff in each other. And I'll show you if I've done that anywhere, what I've done and how I've done it. Hopefully, you know, with this new update coming out, I'm so excited with the 16.0 option for rotating items, this is going to be a game changer. And I'm going to come back in this room and I'm going to touch it up, and maybe people want to see how it's changed. Maybe people don't want to see how it's changed. This is the dining hall, and I hope you like it. Sorry again that I'm moving my keypad really fast. And then at the end, I'm going to try to go back into every room and do a zoomed out view, but I'm just worried that the game might crash because I just recently did that and I had to delete that video because the game crashed when I did it. So I'm just going to do it at the end. I did find that whenever you are decorating and you want a room to feel full, putting mannequins in it is a really, really good way to get that aesthetic of there are like actual people in the room and they're living there, and it kind of gives and brings life to a space, as well as food on all of the tables, because otherwise the tables are quite empty and I find them lackluster with just the dining plates to make a room like truly feel lived in. This is what I've done with this room, and I hope you like it. The next room I'm going to show you is this room over here. It's kind of by where you would check out. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can actually drop your chest that you get for your dreamsnaps outfit rewards and furniture decor rewards. So the reason why I put that chest there, sorry, I have a little bit of ADD, is I didn't want you to see the mannequin's base whenever you walked in, and hopefully Gameloft will actually go in and change it so that the base of the mannequin adjusts to the color of the floor, but one can only hope. And whenever I used the black mannequin, you couldn't see the mannequin at all in this space, so I had to use the white one to brighten it up, but I definitely prefer the black mannequins over the white mannequins on the dark flooring because the starkness of the base isn't quite too contrasting and noticeable, and I find it is very, it's kind of tacky. So this room here on the left is the library, because in every college there's a library. Over here, of course, I included as many items that felt very library-esque, and I used the globe. I think that's from the Sword and the Stone collection. I definitely used Ursula's chairs because purple is the underlying colors in this build. And again, whenever you are putting a build together, you don't want to go with too many colors that clash. You want to go with colors that coordinate with one another, or if the colors do clash, right, if they're on opposite ends of the color wheel, try not to go with too many colors. This was very easy to do because there were so many different items back in the day with all of these colors. Just recently, I added these little candelabras on the wall, and I was so excited that I finally had them because I'd wanted them for a long time. Also, I do want to point out, if anybody's wondering about this floating book, it feels kind of, magical that this book is floating, and you used to be able to, and I'm not sure if you can anymore because I've tried and it has not worked, but you used to be able to drop old recipes, or just recipes back in the day, right? So old recipes as in like a year and a half ago that you received from some of the characters for quests to make them. And whenever you would drop them, they would do this that the book is doing. So it was really cool. I accidentally discovered that once when I had too many items in my pocket and I dropped a recipe because I already knew the recipe, and I don't know why I didn't just learn it. And thankfully, I dropped it because now I have a floating book. So sorry, again, it's really hard to move slow with these Joy-Cons, but I promise I will get better. Back over here, you have a desk for your students and or professor if they want to get away from everybody, and lots of book stacks everywhere, because what is better than cluttercore? And I feel like I am a cluttercore queen whenever it comes to decor. And then of course you would have, something shoved in the back in a corner, and hopefully we get cobwebs in the future because how cute would it be? But this is what I was talking about whenever I was saying I like whenever items clip. With the bookshelf here, this light clips into it. I finally did get the other bookshelf, and I never traded it out with all of these bookshelves because now I'm noticing whenever I look at it that all the bookshelves are the same one, and I do have both different variations. If you didn't know, there are two different variations of this bookshelf. It is really cool that Gameloft is giving us all of these different little items from bigger items. So now we have this little purple bottle and we have this little vase, which is pretty cool, although it's kind of glitchy right now and it shows as locked at the Scrooge store, but you can still drop it down, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, this is my library for the students and or professors to go in and find some peace and quiet and or study. And then lastly is my dorm room. I could squeeze in 4 beds and give them all their own different personalities and characters, which was really fun for me. So there you go, the mannequins are loading in, and I guess they have to load in because I have so many items in this house game. It's fine, and that's why I love interior design, because again, I'm playing on the Switch. The 3,000 item limit is not enough for me. What I've done here is I've really maxed out what you can put inside of the premium house skins. So I live for the premium house skins because on the Switch, you just, you don't really have that many opportunities for the exteriors. So I had to just really obsess and go with the interiors. And I just love that I can take my Switch with me whenever I'm like traveling somewhere on the plane. And so I'm not going to get it on PC because I'll sell my soul and I'll get nothing done and I'll live on the PC. But now with the floating items, everything is fine. So I'm going to keep it to Switch, and everything is Switch friendly, which is really difficult to find Switch friendly builds. For exterior, I can only find interior builds that are Switch friendly, but I've already watched all of them. If there's anything you see that looks like another creator has made it, I promise you, I was inspired by them. If somebody else made this before me, I was inspired by them. If I subconsciously did a design that they did and you want to put it in the comments below that they did it first, please do. I'm not claiming originality to any of my designs anymore because I can't recall what I've done from nothing and what I've done subconsciously from something I've seen. And then I also can't recall what I was inspired by 100% of the time, but I do remember some of the things. If I think of it as it comes along, I'll let you know. I was trying to give everybody different personalities for their different rooms, and this room is botany. This is the earth elemental, right? Botany, botanist, whichever way you want to go. I just got the mushrooms and I stuck them in here. I had to put them in here. I know that it's a bit extra and a little much, but I know, have you ever seen that little video where it's the girl says, am I extra or is everybody else just basic? Because I think maybe when it comes to design, I am way extra. My fire girl over here, she hasn't really picked and decided what her thing is going to be. I kind of was going with a bit of a researcher and maybe more on the scientific level, but I didn't put any vials in here because I have them in so many other spaces. I didn't want to overuse them in a space where it just felt kind of random and out of the blue. And I thought, like, for air, head in the clouds, vanity, vain, that this was pretty cool. So she is big into herbals and making potions and creams for skin, or possibly she'll just be like into consultation. And she'll specialize in knowledge in all of those things for making you beautiful and fabulous. And then this girl over here, my water girl, I guess she could be like a water elemental or a water witch, whichever works and floats your boat. She creates potions. That's her area of study, and that's just how I went with it. And then for the ceiling, oh man, it's a lot. I love these branches, but with the glitch, everything was so dark and it was really weird. So I had to go and put all of these recessed lights in because I don't know why, but this space was so incredibly dark whenever it used to be so bright. Right now, it's looking pretty good. So yeah, that is my nightmare castle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into each and every room and I will zoom out in case you feel inspired by this video and you want to go along the lines. But also don't forget, what you can always do is you can change the colorway around. You can change the floor, you can change the walls, you can change all right, here we go to furniture. You hear my squeaky joystick. So this is it. It's a lot, right? It's too much, but yeah. You can see, zoomed out. I filled up as much as I possibly could. Sorry, as I was saying, if you feel inspired by this layout, you can just change everything and keep the layout and then not have to come out with, like a new full idea. You can just change the couches and change the walls and change the yard and change the flooring, just different items. And if you like the layout, just remember you can do that with anybody's builds. So I'll show you the zoomed out version in this library really quickly. Here, maybe you want me to rotate it. Get it centered. These Joy-Cons are pretty tricky to work with, but doing my best. So you can see the layout in the library, and honestly, this layout, what would be super convenient is to just change the colors, and then any library could have this layout. So I've done lots of different libraries inspired by other people, and I just changed the colorway and the items, literally same layout, and it always just looks so good, and it's a new, fresh life on a room or a space. If you already have that space in another one of your premium house skins or just in your house and you just want to put it somewhere else, different colors, just go for it. So that's that space there, zoomed out. And then we're gonna go to the Hogwarts dining room because let's be real, that's what I was inspired by, and that's basically what it is. So I'm gonna zoom out here, let you see that. I know it's a lot. Hopefully this video was long enough, and hopefully it wasn't too long, but you can always speed up on YouTube the speed at which you're watching a video. I usually watch videos on a faster speed, because that's how my brain's always going. It's like a million miles a minute. Yeah, and also sorry for being super random. You know, it's really hard. I've never done a house tour before, but I know whenever I'm watching someone else's house tours that I like to hear what they have to say, where they came up with the ideas, what inspired them. It looks like over here, even though I came in here and I tried to make this all perfect for everybody whenever I finally showed it off, I think I forgot to put a bench over here. So I should maybe do that. I'll do that later. So yeah, alrighty. And then the last room, and nothing's crashed, which is really great. I mean, I'm using just QuickTime to film this, which is crazy. I didn't even know QuickTime could do this. I'm not technologically savvy. Let's go to the furniture mode. All right. And then the dorm room. And again, you can change the beds, change the floor, change the walls, change the windows, change the lighting, and you can just completely change the entire aesthetic of a room, the entire look, and give it a completely new life that matches whatever theme you're going for. It's really easy to change the theme whenever you have a layout because you just follow the layout. You don't have to use too much brain power to think of a new layout. You just have to use all of your brain power to think of which items you're going to use. Whenever I'm decorating, I don't drop down items. I know a lot of people do that. I just kind of remember in my head what all the items are, and I'll decorate one little area at a time because I get overwhelmed whenever I try to decorate an entire space at once. What I did here was I decided I wanted the different dorm rooms. So in every room, I cordoned them off and I put my beds in. And then I decided, okay, do I want a theme for each room? And I decided yes. And then I put my different themes in. I tried to keep a lot of continuity in this premium house skin with it having a story and a background because I didn't really know what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. I think for one of my first premium house skins, I'm really happy with it, really proud of it. And I like, that it's not too clashy. I just don't like too many different colors. I just want everything to coordinate to have a really nice color story. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video and you feel inspired by it, just let me know in the comments below or give it a thumbs up, I guess, if you don't want to leave a comment, which is also totally fine. I hope that you now have one more video to watch if you've consumed them all just like I have, and that you get to decorating, and maybe you can start making videos that other people can watch as well if you've also consumed every single interior design video that exists out there. Thanks for watching and have a great day.